All right, so what's up, everybody? Thanks for clicking this video. Thanks for tuning into my channel. My name is Simon Hill, Black American from Louisiana, coming to you live from Budapest, Hungary. It's about 1 p.m. where I'm at right now. Today is June 11th, 2024. Just got finished working. I've been up since about 6 a.m., knocked out a lot of classes. Now I'm here on live stream to chop it up with the people. Might only be on for an hour and a half or so. I got to go work out. I got some more work to do after this, but I'm going to come chop it up with the people. Let me jump in and shout out to the people in the comments already. Down the line says, fart please. I will fart after I eat this cheese pizza that I plan on eating for lunch later today. X says hi. Shout out to X. Hi. X says stop spamming. I'm not spamming. I'm sending the information that I'm going to be reading about today. Dominic Fine says, yo, what's good? Shout out to Dominic Fine. Whoever you are out there, shout out to you. And Lumia says, you look really cute. Oh, I appreciate it, Lumia. Thank you. Thank you. Black don't crack. I'm 33, man. Can y'all believe it? I'm 33 years old. Anyway. Yeah, there's a lot I want to talk about today, so I'm gonna just jump into it for everybody who saw my community tabs post. The first story I'm gonna be reading is about my guy, Vinicius Jr. Vinicius Jr., man. I hope I'm even pronouncing that right because I'm not Brazilian. I don't watch football and I don't even really care about sports like much. But I've been covering this brother and his struggles that he's been going through as a part of the Spanish Football League. Shout out to this brother, man. Shout out to this brother for real. All right, Lumia says, you look 23. I appreciate that, Lumia. I appreciate that so much. I know I need to start like lotioning my skin and taking care of it better, but I'm glad I still look, 23. Thank you. I appreciate that. But I feel old. All right. So Subawu says, you look 24, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. 33 years old, man. Black don't crack. Black people don't age. We don't age, man. It's the beauty of having melanin, right? All right. Lumia says, most handsome man I've seen today. I appreciate the love on live stream. Shout out to Lumia, man. But we're not here to talk about my handsome ass. We're here to talk about this handsome brother right here, Vinicius Jr. So if people don't know, he is a very famous football player in Spain. He comes from Brazil. And as you see, he is a very handsome, melanated black man. But the number one thing that white supremacists hate is handsome, young, successful, rich black men succeeding at the highest levels of their profession. I've done a few live streams on Vinicius. I've talked about him in previous videos I've done. But basically, essentially, he's going through what thousands of other black footballers have gone through. He's doing his job out on the field, trying to win the game for his team and entertain the fans. And racist white people decide to act like monkeys in the crowd, hurl bananas on the field, call him all sorts of racial slurs from the crowd. And that is not okay. Nobody deserves to be racially abused at their job. It doesn't matter if they're playing in Africa, if they're playing in Europe, if they're playing in Latin America, but yet and still we see these constant stories all over the world of black football players like Vinicius going abroad and getting racial insults in every country. In every country. Doesn't matter if it's Morocco, doesn't matter if it's Russia, doesn't matter if it's Canada, doesn't matter if it's France, doesn't matter if it's the United States of America. Many black football players have went through what Vinicius Jr. went through. And Vinicius, because he's living in Spain and possibly has a very white social circle, all of them probably told Vinicius the same thing. Just forget about it, bro. Just ignore it, man. Don't worry about the racist. Just, brush it off. Let it be something that you forget about. This is the same thing that the white supremacists tell us all the time. Forget about racism. You have a victim mentality if you try to get justice against anti-black racism. What black men go through in this world is unique and special to us, and we should have recourse to find solutions for it, to bring penalties against the people who racially abuse us for no goddamn reason. For no goddamn reason. All right, gonna open up this comment right here. All right, gonna check this thing out. Hold up. And let's jump ahead and read this story here about Vinicius Jr. So I want to really read this story because it's great. Valencia fans convicted for racist abuse against Vinicius Jr. This was published on Reuters.com, written by Fernando Calles and Emma Pinedo, published about 15 hours ago. So we're going to be checking this story out, all right? And I'm going to be reacting to it. I would love to hear what other people think about Vinicius Jr.'s situation and how we can continue to punish anti-black racists, how we can make sure that they have financial penalties for talking bad about us, how they can have legal consequences for being racist, because there should be no protection for these people. The white supremacists, anti-black racists are the sickest sickest scum on the planet, and they need to be locked up in jail. They need to get fines. They need to have all the bad things that could ever happen to one person happen to the anti-black racists out there in the world. Facts. And let's continue. So, Madrid, June 10th, 3 Valencia football players were sentenced to 8 months in prison on Monday for hate crimes against Real Madrid's Brazil player Vinicius Jr. The first, this is black history right here. The first conviction for racist insults in a soccer stadium in Spain, the court announced. The ruling handed down today, which is final. The final ruling handed down today establishes as proven that the 3 defendants insulted Vinicius with shouts, gestures, and chants referring to his skin color, the magistrates' courts of Valencia said in a statement. These shouts and gestures of a racist nature, consisting among other things in the repetition of the sounds and imitating the movements of monkeys, caused the footballers feelings of frustration, shame, and humiliation, with the consequent undermining of his intrinsic dignity. In Spain, prison sentences of less than 2 years for nonviolent crimes rarely require a defendant without previous convictions to serve jail time, so the 3 are likely to remain free unless they commit further offenses. Now, that honestly makes me sad, and that is not just and that is not right. I feel like in Spain, if you commit one of those racist acts and you made the courts pay all that money to the lawyers and the judges or the jury or whoever else, you should do some jail time for this. I know some people might say, Simon, you sound very punitive. Simon, you sound very draconian. I'm just saying we have to send a strong message to the anti-black racists, to the white supremacists. If you are coming to a football game to harass the workers, you should be held criminally liable. You should go to jail. If I go into a McDonald's, if I go into a lawyer's office, if I go into a doctor's office, if I walk into the chiropractor's room and I start yelling racial insults at them, most likely they're going to pack me out, or I'm going to pack them out. And then the police are going to get called and I'll probably have to go to jail for that. But you can insult very rich, very handsome, very successful black football players on the field and you don't get to go to jail? No, it's not right. It's not right. Everybody deserves respect and dignity at their jobs. All right. Diego Garcia said that's the Spanish way for any kind of crime, sadly. That's very true, unfortunately, Diego. But hopefully we can make that change. But I appreciate in your country, Diego, I assume you're from Spain, that you have laws like this. Because in the United States, our politicians get away with sneakily talking about black people in derogatory ways. Our, very famous people like Elon Musk. Elon Musk can own Twitter and allow white supremacists and racists to tweet all day, and he's not criminally liable for any of the wicked things that they do or that they could possibly do in the future, because we all know this sort of rhetoric often leads to violence. Let's continue here. So the 3 Spanish supporters who pleaded guilty to the charges were also banned from entering football stadiums for 2 years in order to pay the cost of the proceedings. Many asked me to ignore it, said Vinicius. Others said that my fight was in vain and that I should just play football. But as I've always said, I'm not a victim of racism. I am the tormentor of racists. I love that quote. I love that quote so goddamn much. I literally might change the name of my channel from Simon Hill Keeps It Trill to the tormentor of racists. I want to put that on a shirt. I want to get that on a tattoo on my arm. I'll tattoo it on my face right here, because that's how, oh God, I love that phrase so much. Shout out to Vinicius for this quote, the quote of the day, quote of the year. We are not victims of anti-black racism. We are the tormentors of racists if we speak out about it, if we talk against it, if we actually use our God-given gifts of our words and our minds to actually fight against anti-black racism. We are not victims of anti-black racism. We are the tormentors of it as long as we fight against it. Absolutely true. Shout out to Vinicius. That's my dog right there. I don't even watch football, but I might start watching just to root for my dog. Somebody get me his jersey. Somebody get me his jersey. I need the Vinicius jersey ASAP. All right, let's continue here. But as I've always said, I am not the victim of racism. I am the tormentor of racists. The first criminal conviction in Spanish history is not for me. It's for all black people, Vinicius said in a statement on social media. Let the other racists be afraid, ashamed, and hide in the shadows. Otherwise, I'll be here to collect. Ain't that the truth? Thank you to La Liga and Real Madrid for helping to bring about this historic condemnation. There's more to come. Man, I don't even give a crap about football, but I really might start watching football just to root for my guy Vinicius, the tormentor of racists. Ain't that the truth? Where are my dogs at? Where are my Vinicius Jr. fans at, man? Where they at right now, man? Yeah, let's send all these anti-black racists to jail. Shout out to my dog Vinicius. Shout out to the criminal system in Spain. Let's lock them all up, for real. Continuing here. Firm action. The events happened at Valencia's Mestalla Stadium in May last year when racist slurs were hurled at Vinicius, who is black, during a league match. They led to an outpouring of support for the Brazilian forward and galvanized a series of local and international campaigns, including the creation of a FIFA anti-racism committee made up of players. I am pleased to see the firm action and sentencing taken by the Spanish authorities in relation to the racist abuse directed at Vinicius Jr. in a Spanish La Liga match in May 2023. FIFA President Gianni Infantino said in a statement on Instagram, "This is a positive step. Our message to people anywhere in the world who still behave in a racist way when they are dealing with football is clear. We don't want you." Yes, we don't want racists at our jobs. We don't want us coming to our restaurants. We should have signs everywhere say, no dogs, no cats, no shoes, no service, no racists allowed. That's the way it should be. We should be as adamant about anti-racism as the anti-black racists are about their hatred for another group of people that have done no historic wrong to them. Continuing here, these people have to be excluded. They are not part of our community and not part of football. Absolutely the truth. Shout out to my guy Infantino. He is the realest. He is the trillest. So La Liga president Javier Tebas also said in a statement, "This ruling is great news for the fight against racism in Spain, as it repairs the damage suffered by Vinicius Jr. and sends a clear message to those people who go to a football stadium to insult that La Liga will identify them, report them, and there will be criminal consequences for them." He explained that during the hearing, the defendants read a letter of apology to Vinicius Jr., La Liga, and Real Madrid. I have not been this happy hearing about a story about somebody going to jail since I read the story about the white supremacist who was posting online all that wicked stuff, and he got time in jail in the U.S. I said earlier, in the U.S., we don't really have laws that, persecute racists who use their words to perpetuate hate against other people, but we actually do. We just don't enforce them. We don't actually call the police or allow them to actually do the work to get it done, right? I actually read a book, Cyber Racism, and even though that book is about 12 years old, the first person to be convicted for cyber hate crime laws was a Mexican American who was harassing Asian people, right? But meanwhile, all these white racists on 4chan and Twitter and X, whatever you want to call it, get to post all day. And some of them even go out to commit heinous, vicious, violent crimes later, and none of them are convicted. It's absolutely a shame. Continuing here. Real said in a statement that the defendants had shown repentance and in their letter had asked fans that all traces of racism and intolerance should be banished from sporting competitions. Real Madrid, which together with Vinicius Jr. has acted as private prosecutor in these proceedings, will continue to work to protect the values of our club and to eradicate any racist behavior in the world of football and sport, the club added. Title winner. The 23-year-old Vinicius helped Real win the La Liga title and Champions League this past campaign. He was named Champions League Player of the Season and is one of the favorites to win the Ballon d'Or for the world's best player in October, as he should. Just off the fact you can get some racists convicted in Spain, and racist as Spain. Let's keep it real. Spain is pretty damn racist. You got some racist. You know how racist you got to be to get convicted of racism in Spain? Like, you damn near have to be a Nazi to get convicted of racism in Spain. Think about that. Think about that. That's crazy. That's literally crazy. All right. Jumping into the comments right here. All right. I don't know what Reachley is saying, but I'm going to say this. This is an English YouTube channel. I'm letting everybody know this is an English YouTube channel. So if you cannot speak English, don't know how to write in English, or don't even have the time to use a translator, you will get put in timeout, right? This is an English YouTube channel. I only speak English. I speak pretty clear, pretty basic American English. If you don't understand it, this content ain't for you. I'm not trying to be Anglophobic. I'm not trying to be Anglo supremacist, anything like that. But hey, unfortunately, I am a victim of the the histories of globalization and forced migration that happened upon my people that allowed me, or unfortunately, bestowed upon me only the English language. Tried to study Arabic. Shout out to all my Arabic speakers. Would love to learn that. But this is an English channel, guys. You don't speak English, don't come in my comment section. You'll get put in timeout. So Churchy and friends, all right, I'm talking about, he asked me what I'm talking about. I know everybody's coming into the chat late. I'm talking about this story right here, Churchy. Vinicius Jr., great football player, got some racists convicted in Spain for hurling racial insults at him during a football game. This is something that we need more of in this world. We need more criminal prosecutions of these anti-black racists, which are everywhere in our society, which are destroying our society, which is making life harder for all people. Now, Churchy and friends, if you find that to be a bad thing, if you don't want racists to be convicted, if you think racism should be allowed to perpetuate and permeate in our society, what does that say about you? I think it says that your mama didn't raise you right. Anyway, continuing here. Where are we? So the 23-year-old Vinicius helped Real win the La Liga title in Champions League this past campaign. He was named Champions League Player of the Season and is one of the favorites to win the Ballon d'Or for the world's best player in October. 16 incidents of racist abuse against Vinicius have been reported to Spanish prosecutors by La Liga in the last 2 seasons. In March, Vinicius broke down in tears at a press conference and said he was struggling to stay motivated and enjoy playing football due to the recurring abuse, urging Spanish authorities to take action. People should know that this type of act is punishable as a hate crime, because the conviction is for crimes against moral integrity, but with the aggravating circumstances of hatred, State Prosecutor Susana Gispert told reporters. In April, Spanish TV station Movistar Plus fired analyst German Burgos after Barcelona and Paris Saint-Germain refused to give interviews to the network following a comment he made about Barca forward Lamine Yamal, which was interpreted as racist. In the same month, Atletico Madrid and Getafe were ordered to partially close their stands following racist and xenophobic abuse in the La Liga game. Think about that. They had to close down a section. They had to close down a section of the whole stadium because there were that many anti-black racists at the football games. Think about that, man. Think about how deep the white people have a serious cultural problem within their community. Number one, there's a lot of pedophiles, unfortunately, in that section of human society. But also they have a very, very sick culture dealing with hatred for other groups of people that are unfounded. There is no reason to hate black people. There's no reason to hate Asian people. There's no reason to hate Latin people. And honestly, let's keep it real. There's no reason to hate white people as well. We should all love each other as a human species. But within the white community, European, Western, wherever you want to find them, wherever you can find them, we even throw the Russians in there because the Russians and Ukrainians, even though they're going to war with each other, literally killing each other a border over from me because I'm in Hungary right now, the Russians and Ukrainians went to Sri Lanka and opened up a white-only club for them in Sri Lanka. Think about that, man. Within the white world, there is a cultural problem of racism, right? And that needs to be dealt with them because it's only hurting them. It's really only hurting them. They're losing money. They're losing time. They're losing face. They're losing everything. They're losing everything by being this hateful towards other groups of people. Think about that. Think about all the money that was wasted because they had to shut down a whole stand of the football stadium because that many people were racist in the crowd. And I hope all of them in the future get prosecuted for their crimes of hurling racial insults at workers who are trying to do their job to entertain them. Think about that, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. So anyway, in the same month, Atletico Madrid and Getafe were ordered to partially close their stands following racist and xenophobic abuse in a La Liga game, while a third division match between Rayo Majadahonda and Sestao River was suspended after Rayo's Senegalese goalkeeper Sheikh Khan Sarr confronted a rival fan he said was racially abusing him. All right, so here's my advice to all the black men out there, like Vinicius Jr., who love football. And by the way, there's a lot of young black men around the world who love football and stuff like that. you know, and I'm not one of them because I'm from America, baby. We don't play. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it real. I know people are gonna roast me for this, but I gotta keep it real. Growing up, I always thought that soccer was like a pansy sport. Like soccer is not masculine. I know that's twisted, but that's how we're taught in America. We're taught to think like soccer is like, you know, a sport that only little kids play or like, you know, girls play and stuff like that. You get what I'm saying? So yeah. That's what I'm gonna say. My guy Rage 3092, it was nice having you here, but you can get the fuck on somewhere. All right, you're out of here. Got you out of here, buddy. But anyway, to all my young black men out there like Vinicius Jr., who like playing football, who like doing sports and athletics and stuff like that, but happen to be in white dominated spaces where, you know, you are subjects of racial abuse, I encourage all of you to follow the path of Vinicius Jr. Do not hide what you're going through. Do not be afraid to speak out against the anti-black racism. Try to use whatever legal means you can to actually fight the discriminations you're going against. Vinicius Jr., I salute you, brother, for getting these racist Spanish. Once again, how racist do you have to be to get convicted of racism in Spain? Think about that, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. It ain't like, you know, Spain is all multicultural. It's not like Spain is like super mixed, right? Of course, there's a lot of, you know, immigrants there or people who are non-whites living in Spain, but Spain is not like known for the place that has, you know, a vibrant black community. I'm gonna keep it absolutely real. I am pretty tapped into the black world. In Spain, it's not, you know, top 10 black travel destinations, right? But yeah, I'll just say this. Once again, Vinicius Jr., any other black athletes going through racist abuse, be like this man. This man is a hero. He's an icon. And he gave us the greatest quote this year. I am not the victim of racism. I am the tormentor of racists. Ain't that the truth? Let's keep it going. Let's keep it gangster. So, continuing on talking about racists, let's talk about the Republican Party. All right, here's where everybody comes in and says, Simon Hill, the Democratic shill. If I get a single dollar from the Democrats, I will post it up. I will show y'all. If I ever get any messages from any people from the DNC who say we want to incorporate Simon Hill into the marketing strategy for the Democrats, I will definitely let y'all know. I am a full-blown communist, guys, full-blown socialist, far, far left. Do not rock with any of the major political parties in the U.S. Yes, they are both evil, wicked organizations that promote genocide, that promote apartheid in Israel, that have destroyed and ravaged other parts of the world, that make sure that Americans don't have two pennies to rub together. The Republicans and Democrats are both pretty bad. But right now, the Republicans got a wicked side to them right now where they have a candidate who is a open, blatant white supremacist who doesn't care about democracy and literally, once he gets into office, might try to stay there until the day he dies and get rid of elections. Think about this, man. Trump will not leave if he gets in the second time because he doesn't believe he lost the first time. So he believes he's owed 2 more terms. And he's going to try to make that argument, and all of his stupid-ass followers are going to try to make that argument too. Trump will be in there until the day he dies. I think he's creeping up on 80. If I remember right, Trump is about 78 or something like that. About 3 or 4 years younger than Biden, right? And Biden is pretty old, decrepit old man. But Trump is not that far behind. Trump takes shits on himself. Let's keep it real. There are times when Trump is on stage giving one of those speeches, and then he just like stops and pauses, and you know he's taking a massive dookie in that Depends he's wearing. We know Trump is like, you know, a step away from like, you know, falling down a flight of stairs and not being able to get up. You get what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not wishing that for him. I'm just saying like he needs one of those alarms on him all the time to let somebody come and change his diaper. That's how I feel like, you know, Trump is like that nasty. I feel like he doesn't shower. He's always up. He sleeps like 4 hours a day, hyped up off Red Bull, caffeine, and McDonald's. And the man is just nasty, man. Imagine the smell on that toilet, man. Imagine the streaks. Imagine the streaks. Anyway, I'm going to be reading this text here. Behind the Republican effort to win over black men, the party is trying to make inroads with black voters, a key demographic for Democrats, which could swing the 2024 election. Now, I do think to some degree, the idea of black people wearing MAGA hats and talking about, yeah, we's going to vote for Trump because Trump got us checks. I think that is a bit overblown. I think it's a lot of internet talk. And a lot of people who are talking on the internet saying, man, I'm going to vote for Trump, they're probably not even going to vote at all. Or they live in states where if they did vote for Trump, it would, you know, not swing the election. Because in the U.S., we have our crazy system where it's the electoral college that picks the president instead of the popular vote. And if we did have a popular vote, we would actually have better candidates who would win. Obama won the popular vote. Hillary won the popular vote. Biden won the popular vote. Trump has never won the popular vote. And if I remember right, no Republican president has won the popular vote since what? Reagan? Since either Reagan or the first George Bush. If I remember right, since the first George Bush, no Republican has won the popular vote, meaning the majority of Americans have voted for the Republican. No, that has not happened. That not happened. Anyway, Philly, y'all got to answer. Y'all got to talk to me. What is happening here? Akbar Muslim, 61 of Philadelphia, at an event with Wesley Hunt, Republican of Texas, and Byron Donalds, Republican of Florida, at the Cigar Code in Philadelphia on Tuesday. All right, number one, Philly, y'all got to talk to me about your boy. Number one, he's given a fake ass name. Akbar Muslim. I do not believe that's your name at all, homie. Not one bit. Not one bit. And Philly, what's up? Y'all got the y'all got the MAGA bros out there. Y'all got black MAGA people out there in Philly. Philly, talk to me, man. Talk to me. Anyway, continuing here. 2 black Republican House members and Trump surrogates reserved a cigar bar near downtown Philadelphia last week and invited conservative organizers and Trump-curious black voters to smoke and sip cognac. Some Democrats denounced it as a crass play, rooted in stereotype, but the event was geared toward a demographic that Republicans, and especially former President Donald J. Trump's campaign, see as one they can cut into just enough to win in November: black men. Now, let's keep it real, man. This is the White Wife Coalition. And trust me, I know as a black man who has a white wife, I know niggas who love to pog when I see them, man. These are brothers who went to Iowa, Idaho for the first time, got their first Becky, and since then they've been saying, man, we need to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps. Like, let's keep it absolutely a buck. So, by the way, we're going to talk about Byron Donalds later. This man is trying to be Clarence Thomas 2.0. He is the worst. I mean, he is a raccoon to the highest extent, saying all the things that the white supremacists want to say about black people, but he doesn't have the heart, but they don't have the heart to say it, so they have to get a black man, showing once again how cowardly and pussy the white supremacists are in America, and especially the Republican voters. Because if y'all think black people are naturally more prone to commit crime, why don't y'all just say it? If y'all believe black people are more prone to have all these negative qualities about human beings, why don't y'all just say it? But y'all got to run behind a black man. Y'all got to run behind Black Daddy to say all your wicked, nasty talking points, man. By the way, Red Sox are sick, but black shoes on suits, it's got to be the chocolates. It's got to be the chocolate steppers. Anyway, continuing here. Republicans, pointing to recent polls that show black voters' support for Democrats softening, are making a push to win the votes of black men, an important part of the Democratic base that has shown openness to voting for Trump. The effort has led to a series of awkward and what some say are offensive episodes of political theater. Mr. Trump has marketed gold sneakers to young men of color. He has suggested that his conviction on felony charges makes him more relatable to black voters, and he has campaigned with rappers facing charges of gang murder and weapons possession. Mr. Trump's allies say that his critics are missing the point. The Republican Party, which was nearly 60% white as recently as 2022, according to exit polls, isn't trying to appeal to every black voter. It just needs enough black support to undermine President Biden's bedrock coalition. Man, I was thinking about this last night. Number one, Trump thinking that black people like gold sneakers and the fact that he has a mugshot and a criminal conviction is racist as hell. Think about that. Yo, I'm going to get black people to vote for me because I like gold. I'm going to sell them sneakers. And hey, guys, I might even go to jail and I'm a convicted felon. This is how Trump thinks about black people. He thinks all black men are felons who wear fancy, overpriced sneakers and think constantly about the time that we will go to jail. There is nothing in common with Trump and black people. Nothing at all. By the way, my guy ZL1 Life jumped in. You so passionate for the party that fought to keep slavery. I was going to jump on that too, Z1 Life. And I'm pretty sure ZL1 Life is a racist white man or a black man who is a Clayton Bigsby. But I'm going to say this. Yes, the Republican Party freed slaves. And by the way, I'm not a Democrat. I literally just said I am a registered member of the Communist Party of the United States of America. So if you don't like that, you can leave. But anyway, I'm going to say this. Think about that. The Republican Party freed black people. Literally, the Republican Party was started to free, to end slavery. Think about how badly you got to mess up to make black people no longer vote for you. Think about how racist you have to be that the same party who freed black people ended up becoming the #1 party of KKK members. Every Republican president that has been in office hasn't been endorsed by the KKK in their official magazines and publishings. David Duke campaigned as a Republican. Are we serious right now? How badly do you have to mess up to make black people say, man, y'all crazy now? Think about that. We still loved R. Kelly until he got jammed up. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it absolutely a buck. Black people were rocking with R. Kelly until he really got jammed up. And the evidence was too overwhelming. Surviving R. Kelly dropped, everybody jumped ship. Think about how badly the Republicans messed up. You freed black people. We admit that. And yet you decided to go with the Southern strategy, convincing all those racist whites in the South, because they didn't vote for Nixon the first time against Kennedy, that you're going to try to appeal to them by dog whistling all the racism that you want to put in policies. Think about how badly you have to mess up. Once again, I am no shill for the Democrats. I know my initials are SH. My last name is Hill, so you could easily say Simon Hill, the Democratic shill. I am not getting paid by the DNC. Honestly, I would like to see the DNC dissolved and there to be a more further left party, or to have the Green Party in America have more power and sway and make it actually be a consequential party like it is in Europe. Or for the Communist Party just to really, get ground and footing and have a resurgence like they did in the mid 20th century. I would like for that to happen. Or for socialist parties to gain power in the United States, or to gain more influence. But yet and still, my #1 thing is against this guy, man. Trump is bad. Trump is really bad. Trump is like really, really bad. Like, there's a difference between Trump and George Bush. And George Bush is a war criminal who should be like held up to the same standard as like Netanyahu. I'm gonna keep it absolutely a buck. But Trump is bad. Bad news. Bad news. Like, think about that, man. He is emboldened so many of these white supremacists, racists, to come out of nowhere, to commit heinous, violent crimes. We've read the manifestos. We've read the manifestos of the shooters like Peyton Gentrin, who said they love Trump. And they said, even though I'm doing this, please don't blame Trump, even though I really like Trump and the great replacement theory and all the stuff that Trump talks about, that illegal migrants and black people and people from S-hole countries are coming to dilute the white blood of America. Even though Trump says all those same things, and I put this in my manifesto before I walked into a supermarket and murdered 10 black people, please don't blame Trump. But yet and still we got black people out here talking about black MAGA. Is that really what we talking about? That's really what we talking about? Let's keep it absolutely a buck, man. And I'm going to keep it real. For anybody who's going to jump in the comments and say, Simon is caping for the Democrats, don't y'all know I burn American flags? Do y'all not know that I burn American flags? Have y'all not heard the stuff I say to my subscribers? I've had subscribers jump into my comment section and say, man, Simon, I'm a black man in the military and I love your content. I've been serving overseas for a while and I've been, following you and telling other people to check out your content. And I told them niggas, fuck you. I told them, fuck you. You serve a racist, evil military organization that is meant for colonializing the entire planet and bombarding other poor, dispossessed people like we are in the United States. I told them niggas directly, fuck you. Fuck your military. And I said, unsubscribe from me. Do y'all really know who y'all talking to? I hate when people come in here and say, Simon, you a Democrat. Simon, you caping for the Democrats. Simon, get off Biden's cock. All that sort of stuff. I've literally told niggas who said that they're my #1 fans, suck my dick, nigga. You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? And by the way, Champone Ave said there are 6 people watching. I know, but later on people will join in, and you're more than welcome to leave a comment as well. And the live streams usually get bigger when people jump in. But once again, guys, I do my live streams for my own fun, for my own entertainment. I do not take my channel that seriously. I upload often because it's just fun for me to, chop it up with the people and educate myself, because this is the one time I actually find time during the day to actually like read up on stories, read books, and chop it up with the people as well. It's just a healthy activity before my workout, usually. All right, continuing here. So this is what the Republicans say. They say, we're not going to get everyone. The goal here is not to get the majority. To Representative Wesley Hunt of Texas, the co-host of the Cigars and Cognac event. The goal here is to get that 25 to 30% of the black male vote. That notion, once considered far-fetched, is not out of the question now. A May New York Times Siena College poll out of battleground states showed 23% of black voters supporting Mr. Trump, a record level. The former president won roughly 12% support from black men in 2020, according to exit polls. And a Pew Research report in April showed a slight uptick in black men who identify as Republican in 2024 compared to 2020. If the GOP can build on those gains over the next few months, Mr. Hunt added, this election is going to be over. All right? All right, see, Champagne Ave said, have fun to say soldiers racist for fighting for you. This is what I'm saying, Champagne Ave. America has racist policies in foreign policy. What we're seeing right now in Israel, is that not a racist policy? Is America not continuing to arm mostly Ashkenazi, white Jewish people from bombing those brown Palestinian people? Is this not white supremacy in play? Everybody who is actually thinking critically about what is happening in Gaza recognizes this is white supremacy and racism. Every single dollar that goes to those defense contractors that send more weapons, more guns, more bombs that kill innocent Palestinians, is that not racism and white supremacy? But Champagne Ave, you're such a cuck for American militarism, you're such a cuck for the US dollar that you'll say, how dare you say the US soldiers are racist? They're enacting racist policies. Are not the police who shoot black men in the back because they, believe those black men are dealing drugs like marijuana, God forbid, that they're not racist as well? Yes, that it also has an effect. It also extends forward. All right. So Champagne Ave says, oh, now you agree. Now you agree. When we talk about Palestine, you stupid motherfucker. This is why I hate the Muslim community. As a Muslim, I literally hate other Muslims because stupid motherfuckers like Champagne Ave will say, oh, talking about the Listen, when I say the U.S. military is racist, not only are they doing heinous crimes in Africa, right, like AFRICOM, where they have drones flying over Somalia, blowing up villages and stuff like that. I'm literally talking about how in World War II, we dropped not one, but 2 nuclear bombs over civilian cities. We dropped 2 nuclear bombs over civilians. People still being born today in Japan with arms coming out of their forehead because their parents experienced radioactive poisoning. Are we really talking about that? The majority of the racism that the U.S. military has imposed has been against Asian and Latin American people, though we have done a lot to destabilize Africa as well. You stupid motherfuckers. But as soon as we start talking about Palestine, this is when all the Muslims around the world get their panties up in a bunch. Now they can recognize racism. Now they can recognize white supremacy. The same stuff us as black activists have been talking about forever. People like Champagne Ave only think it's important whenever it happens to them. Stupid motherfucker. And this is why black people are the shining light for the world. We are the moral high ground for the world, because not only are we talking about fighting white supremacy to end the oppression that is happening against us, it's for the liberation of all people. But stupid motherfuckers like first name I can't pronounce, Champagne Ave, only care about white supremacy when it affects people that they identify with. Stupid people like Champagne Ave. Yes, the U.S. military is racist. Yes, what is happening in Gaza is a genocide and is a example of white supremacy. But he only cares because, oh, now it's Muslims. Dumbass people. I hate the Muslim community so much. I love Islam. I love the Prophet. I love Allah. But I hate the Muslims so goddamn much. They are the worst. They are the worst. Oh, and now he wants to talk about the American soldiers who killed children in Palestine, when I was literally talking about that. Is that not an example of white supremacy? See, Champagne, I'm not even going to read your comments until you apologize, you stupid motherfucker. You got mad at me because I said the American soldiers were racist, Champagne Ave, but now you want to bring up the American soldiers killing Palestinians. But you don't want to acknowledge the fact that I said the absolute truth. The United States military's foreign policy is racist. It is white supremacist, but you won't even say that. You want to ask about praying. Shut the fuck up. Get your bitch ass on the floor and pray to Allah for all your wicked ways to get out of your head. Dumb motherfucker. Seriously. Continuing here. So if the GOP can build on the gains of attracting more and more people to vote for the Republican Party who are black, Mr. Hunt added, this election is going to be over. I do think there is a possibility that there will be some black men who vote for Trump, but it won't be a lot. All right. So Vince Vaughn said hi from Australia. Shout out to Vince Vaughn. All right. All right, so going here, Mr. Hunt said the campaign was targeting disaffected Black and Latino voters who are frustrated with politics and specifically with the Democratic Party, which has counted Black voters among its most loyal voting blocs for decades. It has pushed conservative messages on the economy and immigration as issues that are directly relevant to Black voters. Republicans have announced a blitz of initiatives aimed at delivering this message. Mr. Hunt and Representative Byron Donalds, a Republican of Florida, who co-hosted the event and has been discussed as a potential running mate for Mr. Trump, said they plan to arrange more gatherings for Black voters in battleground states this year. Senator Tim Scott, a Republican of South Carolina, announced that his political action coordinating committee would lead a $14 million initiative to persuade Black and Latino voters to support Republicans. There's big money, man. If you're a Black person out here talking about you're going to try to get people to vote for Trump or vote Republican or leave the Democratic plantation, they got billions of dollars out there for you to get to work, to get to business. I have yet to see, and somebody proved me wrong, that the Democrats are out there throwing money at people who want to shill for them. But we all know Candace Owens is bought for. We all know Byron Donalds is paid for. We all know Clarence Thomas is paid for. Clarence Thomas just took $14 million from Harlan Crow by funneling it through his wife. Man, all the Black conservatives, Republicans are actually on a plantation. They're actually getting paid and pimped to push their sick, wicked ideology onto our people. You get what I'm saying? All right. So I'm going to jump here to the comment section. Friendly neighbor, I'm literally reading the news, but if you don't like that, you can switch to another channel. Continuing here. Still, the week also demonstrated the challenges Republicans face in communicating to Black voters. The Trump campaign opened an office in Philadelphia on June 4th with a Black Voters for Trump event, but the office is in a heavily white and Democratic neighborhood in the city, and the event drew a mostly white crowd. And though some 100 people attended the event hosted by Mr. Hunt and Mr. Donalds that night, the biggest story to emerge from the evening came from Mr. Donalds himself, who suggested that Jim Crow era held some upside for Black families. Let's just nip this in the bud real quick. There is no positives to Jim Crow. There's no positives to apartheid and legal segregation and stuff like that. All right. I'm going to make sure my guy Champon Ave never gets to talk again because he is a horrible example of Muslims. I don't want anybody to be a Muslim like Champon Ave. A Muslim is not a person who only cares about what happens to the Muslims or what happens to people within his ethnic group or what happens to people within his own nationality or in his own community. The Prophet said it best, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. A Muslim is a person who wants for himself what he also wants for his brother. And we as the human family, and especially as Black people, we care about fighting white supremacy, not only for our own sake, but for the sake of the human family. And Champon Ave is a person who does not care about the human family. He was willing to attack me because I said the United States military is racist and xenophobic. And he said, how dare you say that? But then as soon as I bring up the fact that Palestinian children are losing their arms, legs, eyes, and ears every single day to American-made bombs, then he says, oh, wait, well, you know what? You're right. But then refused to acknowledge he was wrong. You get what I'm saying? Desi Vlogger jumped in. He said, where are you from? I'm from Louisiana, Black American from Louisiana, coming to you live from Budapest, Hungary. It's your boy, Simon Hill. Anyway, continuing here. So on Thursday, Mr. Donalds said his comments were referring to a broader trend he has observed of young Black voters migrating to the Republican Party because, he argued, it aligns more with his values. The Democratic policies have followed the Jim Crow era, he said, harmed Black families. Democrats have mounted a defensive strategy, trying to appeal to Black men by highlighting the policies the Biden administration has passed on their behalf and underlining Mr. Trump's past comments about Black communities. Mr. Trump has a history of making racist statements, perhaps most notoriously in questioning Barack Obama's birthplace and citizenship and Kamala Harris's eligibility for the vice presidency. He called for the death penalty of the Central Park Five, the group of young Black and Latino men who were wrongly convicted of rape in 1989, following a white nationalist rally in Charlottesville, Virginia in 2017. He said there were violence and hate on, quote unquote, many sides. He condemned protesters marching for racial justice following George Floyd's murder in 2020 and threatened to shoot them. John Ridge jumped into the chat. Shout out to John Ridge. I remember his name. All right. The one and only Andy Nicole. So I'm going to put this person in timeout because this person has not verified their blackness. And number one, we do not use derogatory slurs about black people on my channel. White supremacists are not welcomed on my channel. Anti-black racists are not welcomed on my channel. Anybody who is not concerned seriously with thinking about these issues on how we fight anti-blackness and white supremacy, you are not allowed here. There's millions of other black streamers who are talking about God knows what right now. You can go join their conversation, but I'm only here for the real, for the trill, for the intelligent. Yeah, let's keep it like that. Anyway, yeah, Trump is a bad dude. Once again, Trump is a bad dude. We just went through his resume of racism, and it's a lot. It's long. It's like a scroll, biblical. Donald Trump has been doing what he's always done, perpetuating racist stereotypes while having no black outreach program to speak of, said Jasmine Harris, the Biden campaign's black media director, in a statement. Joe Biden is clearly the only presidential candidate in this election who cares about earning our votes and delivering for us and our families. That's a quote, guys. That's not me saying that. I'm just reading the article. Shout out to my guy Sam Seals jumping into the comment. Oaktown in the building. The 707. Yeah, we outside. For real, for real. Let's continue building. So I'm talking about the Republican Party trying to convince black men to go to their side. And listen, guys, I am not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I've been honest about my political affiliations. I'm affiliated with the Communist Party of the United States of America. And while I do support socialism, and while I would like to see a socialist America, what we have with Trump is a bigger concern. And this guy needs to be out of the way. He needs to be finally defeated once and for all, voted out of office, even though he's got all those felony convictions. It's up to the American people to finally decide, do we want this man back in power or do we want him behind the sail? You get what I'm saying? So, yeah, you from Vallejo or Fairfield? I'm from Louisiana. I'm from where most of the Californians come from. You ever met somebody from California? They start talking about, yeah, my granny or my great-granddaddy came from Texas, Louisiana, or Mississippi. Everybody in California is from Louisiana. I'm from the original, baby. Actually, born in Alabama, raised in Louisiana. All right? Oregon said, my father escaped communism. Hey, listen, man, I'm not here to litigate the past. I'm here to talk about the future. And in America, we do need a communist future in America. I will die on that hill. Anyway, Desi Vlogger says, bro, I think a black man should be a president of America. What you thinking about that? We had one. We had Barack Obama. That was an experience. It was an experience having Obama in office, that's for sure. But yeah, we do need more black presidential candidates, but those who have the right ideas, right? Like I endorse Cornel West for president. I would like to see a Cornel West presidency. It would be hilarious to go to see him at the G20 convention talking about Ella Fitzgerald and and Bigger Thomas and stuff like that. I would love to see, Cornel West sit down with like Vladimir Putin and start going off about jazz and the meanings and intricacies of hip hop. That would be hilarious, right? But we need people with the right mentality, people who want reparations for black Americans who are descended from slavery. We want candidates who believe in universal child care. We want candidates who believe in universal basic income. We want candidates who believe in universal health care for everybody. We need candidates who believe in free higher education for everybody in America. All things America could have done 10 times over with the billions of dollars we sent to Ukraine or to the defense contractors to sell us weapons to drop on Palestinian children. America has the capacity to be a paradise on earth with all the billions of dollars we generate every single day that we seem to just flush down the toilet or just seem committed to do more evil, heinous things. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, we need a black candidate who believes that. Anyway. My family from Homer, Louisiana, and my mother's side, Mississippi and Alabama. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that black as hell? So why should people pay for reparations when they can't decide who they descend from? I think it's not about who you decide to descend from. I'm pretty sure Oregon is a English as a second language speaker, but this is a common complaint that I'm pretty sure, and this is the thing about America, right? We allow so many immigrants to come in and they have so much disdain and hate for black Americans. Because I'm pretty sure Oregon is a person whose father escaped from Romania in like 1970 or something, right? And he came to America and then he told his son, pick yourself up by the bootstraps and work hard and you can always be successful. And don't worry about what happened to black people in America. That's none of our concern. We came here yesterday. So let's try to shit on the efforts of black people to try to get justice for their system. I'm pretty sure this is how Aragon's story is something like that. It somewhere falls along those shades of gray, right? Aragon, I'll tell you this. If you are a descendant of an immigrant, how about you do this? Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. We don't need no more goddamn immigrants in America telling us what we, as black Americans who are descended from the people who made a country for you to escape to, Aragon, to tell us what we should be getting from our government. Shut the fuck up. Leave the front door. Turn your passport in. Burn your green card, because we don't want you. We don't need no more goddamn immigrants in America with this stupid mentality who barely speak English, who then want to tell black Americans how we are going to fight for justice for our people and our descendants and our ancestors. Shut the fuck up, Aragon. I'm no longer doing debates with any Africans, any crazy, stupid Eastern Europeans, anybody who wants to come and talk about the reparations fight. We are past the point of debating with y'all, because number one, it don't even concern y'all. We are fighting against the white supremacists. Now, if you want to be on that side, you can face justice later, all right? Don't worry, I'm not in America. Well, stay the fuck out of America's business, you bitch-ass nigga. Seriously. Crackers, I swear to God, these crackers are retarded. They are literally retarded. The crackers around the world are retarded. They are so on code with white supremacy, it's literally rotting their brains. They feel like because they speak little English, they can comment on black-ass business. But if I were to talk about the shithole country his father came from, or the shithole country he claims descent from whenever he can and puts flags up all the time, I would be wrong. But I'll bomb on Romania, I'll bomb on Bulgaria, or whatever shithole your descendants came from, Aragon. But stay the fuck out of black-ass business. How about that? How about you do that? Oh, but you can't do that, though, because you on code with the white folks, right? For some reason, you get a psychic benefit. You get a hard-on thinking about black people not getting justice. This is what it all comes down to. White people, especially those who want to come into a black-ass YouTuber stream and talk about what black people shouldn't get for the work our ancestors did, they just get a psychic hard-on knowing that we don't get shit. What a sick fuck. What a sick fuck. And that's the same mentality that allows a lot of white men to suck the cum out of their wife's pussy after a black man fucks them right in front of them. These people are sick. They are literally sick. White people are literally sick. My guy Nelson Moreno said it best. Being called white in 2024 is damn near an embarrassment for how these people act and think. Seriously. I'm going to continue here. So Vince Vaughn said, you right, brother. Okay. I know when somebody says you right, I know I went off too far. I know I jumped off the ledge. Anyway, once again, guys, I cannot be racist. My wife is white and I love white people, right? I can't be that. Anyway, so during the Philadelphia Cigar Bar event, a nearly 2-hour discussion moderated by the former sports reporter Michelle Tafoya, attendees settled into plush leather couches as Mr. Hunt and Mr. Donalds discussed a range of issues that hinged more on culture and grievance than policy. By the way, I'm continuing to talk about these black Republicans who are getting paid. Once again, they are getting paid to try to sit together and think, how can we trick black people into working against their own self-interest? This is the thing. The Republicans did a great job on convincing poor, stupid white people that only want the psychic benefit of thinking that they're better than black people to vote against their own self-interest. We could have had universal health care yesterday. We could have had all our kids having Harvard degrees in America yesterday. But stupid white people in America believe the Republican Party's lies that a group of people in America want to get everything for free, that a group of people in America want to bankrupt the country and destroy the nation. So let's not give anybody anything. Let's get rid of cash benefits. Let's get rid of the SNAP program. Let's try to cut Social Security whenever we can. These are the things that the stupid white people in America believed, and that's why they vote Republican. And yet and still they want to try to convince black people, how can we do the same thing? But we are savvy political actors, so we've been voting in our best self-interest the entire time, or at least the one that would cause the least harm. And so that's why all these black Republicans are getting paid. They are getting paid. For anybody who wants to come on here and say, Simon Hill, the Democratic shill, I am not getting paid. I am definitely not getting paid. YouTube demonetizes me all the time. They always try to find a reason to bring down my channel. I've been fighting to get my voice out here for a long time. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, I am not here to get a single dollar from the Democrats. All right. So Timothy Little is back. Timothy Little got some good-ass jokes. I'm not going to lie. I don't like trolls, but Timothy Little got some good-ass jokes. He said, those remind me of one of those university commercials. DeVry University. Okay, he's got jokes. I appreciate a good joke because I don't take myself that seriously. So Timothy Little, you can continue to, if you got good jokes, I'll let you get them off. But I'm going to fire back at you with Timothy Little. You can't be talking all that shit with, who is that in your profile picture? You look like you got NBA old boy in your profile picture, my guy. You look like you know, oh my God, that looks like every dead rapper from 2017 in your profile picture, man. Who the hell are you talking to, man? You over here with Lil Deceased in your profile. Don't come and talk to me about DeVry. But I'm just trying to chop it up with the people. But we can go back and forth, Timothy Little. If you got jokes, I got jokes. I got flames. Pow. Let's talk. Anyway. So, in between puffs of cigars and sips of Hennessy, the congressman argued that black voters had long been too beholden of Democratic candidates and criticized Democrats' handling of the economy, the flow of migrants across the U.S.-Mexico border, and public safety issues. Mayor Cavalier Johnson of Milwaukee, a Biden ally and the city's first elected black mayor, said he regularly talked with black men in his city about voting, as he is concerned about increased Republican outreach to black men. Still, he said he didn't think the GOP's conversations would have much sway with voters. Okay? All right, that's the rapper Slayer. See, this is how I know Timothy Little is a white man. He's a white man blackfishing because ain't nobody listening to no black rapper named Slayer. Ain't no rapper named Slayer who got a black fan base. That's a rapper who performs in front of very white crowds in, I imagine, like Iowa or something like that. The rapper named Slayer, he performed at the meeting of the Juggalos. You listening to one of those Tech Nine ass rappers. You listening to the new signee to Shady Records. Like the rapper Slayer. Let me guess. He does super double time flow. Lyrical, miracle, spiritual, all that sort of stuff. Lyrical, miracle, spiritual in your swimming pool. The rapper Slayer, my guy. The rapper Slayer. Man, Timothy Little, don't try to roast me if you blackfishing out here. Listening to the rapper Slayer. The rapper Slayer, my guy, that's crazy. Oh my God. Anyway, Mayor Cavalier Johnson, yeah, we already read that. All right, basically, the Republicans are trying to convince black people, but they really don't even have any good arguments. Let's really sit down and break this down, because people want to say, Simon, you're not listening. The Democrats, they just want to keep you on the plantation and do some tricks on you. Let's really break this down, and I need somebody to really walk with me here. What do the Republicans have to offer black people? What policies do they have? First and foremost, if you care about the genocide in Palestine, it's not like Trump is saying, like, let's have the two-state solution. So that's first and foremost. Trump has been saying, like, finish it. Israel, do what you have to do. He's the one that moved the embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. So that's one thing, if you care about foreign policy, right? If we think about other stuff, let's say you care about immigration. Okay, Biden is deporting immigrants too, trying to do the same thing where only about 15,000 people can come to the border every day or something like that. And then after that, it's all closed. We're already not following international law when it comes to the border under the Biden administration. So you're already getting the same sort of draconian immigration policies under Biden than you would under Trump. Trump didn't build the wall. There were still millions of migrants coming into the U.S., and the majority of migrants don't just flood over the border. They literally fly on a plane after getting a visa and overstay. Like who? Like Melania, my nigga. Like Melania. Just like Melania. All right, let's break down the other parts. What is he talking about? The platinum plan? Opportunity zones? Are you talking about all the ways that Trump is going to allow his rich white friends to gentrify the hood and bring Whole Foods in there and basically hike the rents and get people out? Is that what we're talking about? The platinum plan, my guy? Opportunity zones, the same thing that allows people to knock down the projects or tear down affordable living houses to make, sky-rise condos and stuff like that in the middle of the city in historically black communities. Is that what we're talking about here? Is that what the Republicans are offering? Is that what Trump has to offer? Does Trump got some gold shoes? Okay, Trump's got gold shoes that are tacky and ugly and we're made in China. Made in China, not even made in America, and they're tacky. I mean, what really? I'm really waiting for somebody to give me a good argument. The Republicans, like in my home state of Louisiana, want everybody to be able to have a gun at 18 with no background checks. As long as you got a heartbeat and an ID, you can get a gun. When the number one killer of young black children is gun violence, so you want more guns on the street? Is that what the Republicans are talking about and offering? Once again, this is not Democratic shilling. I'm not, hopping on Biden cock, whatever. I'm just saying, what is the actual appeal? All they're going to say is talking points and psychic benefits. This is the thing. What the Republicans want to offer black men is just psychic benefits of being a part of the white supremacist structure. That's it. That's what they've offered the poor whites who get regularly effed over by Republican policies that make life harder for them, that make sure that their pays don't go up, that make sure that they have to become a contractor just to be able to put food on the table. You get what I'm saying? They make life hard for everybody, and what they offer in return is psychic benefits, knowing that you are a self-actualized individual in capitalism, in American capitalism. This is all they've offered the whites, and they want to offer the same thing to black people, black men. And we're supposed to buy that. They don't want to do anything about the police shooting us in the back. They don't want to do anything about black women getting discriminated at the job because of their hair. They don't want to do anything about that. They just want to give us psychic benefits, knowing that we are not dependent on the government. When increasingly in America, people have to be dependent on the government because the wages are not keeping up with inflation, and they continue to give tax breaks to corporations who use that money that they're able to save from tax breaks just to buy their own stock and enrich shareholders. I'm still confused. Please, do we have any black Republicans in the comments or in the chat? Where y'all at? I'm really trying to understand the argument of the black conservatives. If it's just access to white pussy, let's keep it a buck. If the black Republicans are only talking about putting their black dicks in white pussy, you won't even get more white women doing that. You won't even get more white women. Let's keep it absolutely a buck. You get more white women being a crazy black radical, like Simon Hill keeps it trill, than you will being a black Republican. Because nobody respects a raccoon. Nobody respects a Clayton Bigsby. People see through that. Women can smell that on you. And plus, the white power establishment will send white women to try to destroy the strong black radical, like they did Malcolm X. Y'all watched the Malcolm X movie when that white woman came up to Malcolm and said, "Oh, Malcolm, what can I do to be a part of the cause?" And Malcolm said, "Nothing, nothing, cave beast," and then walked past her. Do you remember that part of Malcolm X? Nobody remember that part of the movie? Let's keep it absolutely real, man. The white power structure will send you snow bunnies if you are a threat to the system. I'm tripping right now, but I'm keeping it real. These black Republicans, I do not understand what is the benefit that they're trying to explain to us. I'm sorry I went off on this rant, but yeah, man. Here's something. Yeah, I'm gonna just continue reading this article and wrap this up, man, because there's only like 3 or 4 paragraphs here. So, all right. Mr. Hunt said that black voters cared less about the policy promises that Democrats have made in light of their current economic struggles. Giving money to historically black colleges and universities, that's great, he said, pointing to his parents' degree from Southern University, the historically black institution in Louisiana. Wow. But what's that got to do with inflation right now? They would much rather be able to afford to live every day than worry about an HBCU gets right now. Democrats maintain that they are continuing to engage black voters not only to generate enthusiasm for Biden's reelection, but also to remind them of Mr. Trump's policies and racist past statements. The party has opened 24 offices in Pennsylvania and will launch a $25 million advertising campaign in August, targeting black voters in battleground states. Allied groups have already spent millions on television and digital ads highlighting Mr. Trump's racist past statements. Mr. Biden has also taped interviews with nearly a dozen black radio hosts in major cities across the country. The challenge for Mr. Biden, however, will be making the case to the voters he needs to turn out and support his reelection, a voting base with whom Republicans say they are already making inroads. I understand there's a lot of people in our country, a lot of black people in our country, who know something is wrong. They just don't know where to look, Mr. Donalds said in Philadelphia, and I'm going to give them a place to look. So this is the thing. This is an example of the lost trying to lead the lost. You get what I'm saying? A lot of young black men out here, like this guy, for example, I don't know, he's wearing the gold, he's wearing the Cuban link trunk chain with the gold, with the MAGA pendant. I mean, my God, my guy, how much clout do you really need, man? I'll just say this. There's a lot of young black men out there who are lost, who are confused, who do not have economic opportunity, who are going through a lot of economic strife because of the lack of upward mobility in America now, because of the years of something like that. All right. So once again, to the people out here, the N-words and racial slurs which I tell people happen all the time on this channel, they will not be tolerated. If you come in here calling me or anybody else racial slurs, you will get your ass blocked. This channel is not welcome to racists or white supremacists, period. But I'll say this, there's a lot of young men who are lost, and when you're lost, it's easy to get misled, right? It's easy for people to steer you down a path that makes you think that there's something wrong with you, that something's wrong with your people, that all you have to do is follow the strong man, follow the prevailing ideas of our times, rather than challenge the norms and challenge the system. This is about co-opting the youth, co-opting a people who are disenfranchised historically because of the policies of Republicans and conservatives in America. And they want to just try to stop forward progression. All right. Sam Sales says, I'm light-skinned. We don't claim him. He's Puerto Rican. Yeah, man. Y'all, light-skinned brothers, man. Once again, shout out to all my light-skinned brothers out there. We don't do the light-skinned, dark-skinned thing on my channel. And I know you're just joking, Sam Seals. I feel you. But yeah, it's not... It's just a joke. I ain't even going to delve into it more, but I just want to make that clear. But yeah, once again, all these Republicans, black conservatives out here trying to grift as hard as they can, man, it's really not going to work. It's really not going to work. And I think I sort of made this clear, but no, Byron Donalds, Jim Crow didn't create stronger black families. No, it did not. No, it did not. That's crazy to think about. That's crazy that there are people now coming out saying, like, we were better under Jim Crow. Like, we were better under a system where almost 90% of us lived in poverty, right? Like, it's not even a joke. Think about this. Like, I'm not the type of person to say, like, there hasn't been progress since the civil rights movement. Of course there has, right? My father could not be born in the hospital nearest to where he lived because it was a white-only hospital. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's my father. My grandfather and my great-grandfather went through all the same thing. My father used to tell me a story about when he was walking to school, the white police officer pulled up on side of him and told him, get off of the sidewalk. My own father. And my father is still alive. I knew my grandmother. I knew my grandfather. You get what I'm saying? Like, these things did not happen sometime in a vacuum in a black and white other dimension. Like, these are real things that happen to our people and that we're still suffering from, right? The redlining, the highways being built through all the black communities, whether it be in Overtown or Memphis or New Orleans or Oakland or Philadelphia, that destroyed historical black communities. Like, Jim Crow was not good for us, Byron Donald. Byron Donald, you tripping. And what makes it even crazier, Byron, let's look at Byron Donald's wife. I want y'all to take a guess. What color is Byron Donald's wife? I want y'all to guess. I want y'all to guess. What color is Byron Donald's wife? Let's look at her. Oh, I wonder how this would have went down during Jim Crow, Byron. Byron, you and that very, very, very skinny, non-voluptuous snow queen you running with, Byron Donalds. How would this fly during Jim Crow? My guy, what are you talking about? Life was better for black people under Jim Crow, but you got a whole family that would have got you hung and castrated and burned on a tree, my guy? My guy, what are you talking about? Just the hypocrisy. Just the amount of hypocrisy. Now, as a black man with a white wife, right, which is my wife is from Turkey. I'm not going to hide that. But I don't say crazy stuff like, oh, you know, there's no racism in Turkey. Or there is no life was better during segregation. Like, what are you talking about, Byron? Byron, you sound literally crazy. You could not even marry this hooked nose, bird looking broad. And yeah, I'm roasting your wife because your wife is kind of trash. Your wife is kind of trash, even with all that makeup and probably all that Ozempic she's pumping in her kidney. She's still a Minnesota 5. She is a hot actress from the 80s who has aged badly and fallen on hard times and is now doing B movies, my guy. This is not, as for all the white women in America, you got the most basic one. You got the white woman from Shein. You got the Wish white woman, my guy. You got the Temu white woman. If you're going to do all that raccooning and Clayton Bigsby and Step and Fetch It, at least get you a baddie. You could have at least got a Melania. You didn't even get a y'all gonna kill me for this, man. Didn't even get a Doja Cat. My God, you got the worst type of white woman, man. Seriously. As a man who has tasted the finest of pussies from all colors and nationalities, my guy, you got the worst type of white woman. Seriously. Shout out to Oracle saying hard AF. All right, shout out to you. Sam Seals, we moved to a city next Oakland called San Leandro. My dad would get chased out of the city when he was a kid. Think about that. Every black American, Sam Seals, every black American, man, if you really black from America, your parents tell you those stories, man. I'll never forget, I don't know if this story is true or not, but I'll share this story. I don't think I've ever shared this story on my channel before. But my grandmother said that while she was living in Huntsville, Alabama, Martin Luther King knocked on her door. Saying, will you come out and protest with us or march with us? And I don't know if she meant, because my grandmother was old when she told this story, but I don't know if she meant Martin Luther King, him physically, or like people from the SNCC, or people from the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, SCLC, came and knocked on her door. But she said, I closed the door on them crazy niggas. I was scared. That's what my grandma said. True story. I swear to God, if I'm lying, I'm flying. But yeah, all of our parents got them stories of, getting racially harassed, had to sit on the back of the bus, stuff like that. All right. Vince Vaughn said a joke about his penis, as if that makes sense. So your girlfriend said, I'm black. My girlfriend said, I'm black from the waist down. That's interesting. So I don't know exactly if that's supposed to be a compliment or a funny joke, but, sexualizing the black man's penis is what other groups of people do. We don't do that here on our channel, guys, because we have Oracle here. I think Oracle is a black woman, but I think as a black woman, she would know that not all brothers are packing. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it absolutely real. But yeah, that's all I got to say about Byron Donalds and his crazy comments about the black man's penis. Or no, sorry, not the black man's penis, but life was better under Jim Crow. I'm mixing up two things. All right. I want to read this other story. All right. Oracle 8 said, my mother was the first person of color to work in the laboratory at the hospital in my hometown. I have kept the newspaper clippings. That's a beautiful story, man. Like, people think, because of what the media says about our people, that, we are not resilient, we're not brave, and that our ancestors didn't do great things. Like, so many stories from black Americans come out just like that. My grandfather was the first one to do this, the first one to integrate his school, the first one to be born in that hospital, the first person to get this high-paying, very prestigious job and stuff like that. And the crazy thing is, in America in 2024, there are still barriers like that being broken. Like, we made it this far. Black people have been in America for 200 plus years. No, pardon. We've been in the Americas before the Europeans were here. Let's keep it absolutely real. We've been in the Americas before the Europeans showed up, right? Because black people were all over the planet Earth beforehand. But we've been in America since, the beginning of chattel slavery, 1555. And we're just now getting black people in federal judgeships. Black people, breaking into high levels of corporate business and stuff like that in the Americas. Think about that, man. And there are some parts of the America where those things have yet to happen, right? Like in Brazil, like in Cuba, like in Mexico, like in Argentina, like in Ecuador, in Colombia. There are parts of the Americas where black people have been there for centuries and they're still held back, right? And all that legal Jim Crow segregation stuff has ended, right? Oracle 8 says, my family has been here at least 7 generations that we know of. Facts. Facts. We've been in America for a long ass time, and our just due is coming. So once again, I'm glad I finally got some black representation on my channel, because I've been fighting with these white supremacists for a long time. I love hearing stories and comments from my people. You feel me? And it's hard for me because I'm out here in white ass Hungary. And trust me, guys, I'm not here because I just love white people or I love Hungary. I'm here because I'm trying to get my education. I'm going to university, studying for sociology, trying to become the first black American here to get a PhD at ELTE University. And that's what I hope to do. And then bring it back home for my people and continue to fight and advocate for us. But I'm so glad that I finally got some black folks in here, because I've been fighting these crackers for a long ass time. Going toe to toe with them in the comment section, blocking their asses. My guy Craig Mack jumped in here. Shout out to Craig Mack. Where you at in the world, buddy? Let us know where you at in the world, for real. So, last thing I'm gonna read today. Last thing I'm gonna read. Oracle 8 said championship. Shout out to you, Oracle 8. Shout out to all my people in the US, man. I hope y'all vote. And I'm gonna keep it honest with y'all. I hope y'all vote because our ancestors did fight and die for it. And think about what they would do if they had the chance, right? They would take away all of those opportunities for us. My guy Craig Max said he's in Buda, Montenegro. Let us know how it is. It's beautiful weather out here in Budapest right now. So I imagine in Montenegro, you chilling under the nice sun, got a nice martini with you. I don't know, sitting on the coastline, chilling, cold brews, looking at the mountains of the Adriatic coast. My guy, living it up. Man, we got to link up one day. We got to link up for real. Anyway, last thing I'm going to talk about today, I'm going to talk about this. The NAACP calls on Biden to halt arms to Israel. Now, I don't really talk about the Israel-Palestine thing, but I think this is interesting. I do think, what is happening in Israel is a genocide. Like, you cannot kill 40,000 people, mostly women and children, and then tell the world that you're not doing something heinous, wicked, and evil, right? Israel does need to be stopped. But I'm not about to die on that hill. I'm not about to fight and die to defend some Arabs who would call me Zenchi, Zanj, Abd, and Abid. I've been to the Arab world. I've been racially insulted by the Arabs. I've seen how they treat their indigenous black people in the Arab world. And right now in the Arab world, in Sudan, there is a genocide happening against the black Masalit people in Sudan that's being funded by the rich Arabs from the Gulf states. So why are we willing to fight and die or go to jail or protest so hard against what is happening to the Palestinians? That's their issue. That's my stance on that. There are a ton of black people in Gaza. And guess the name of the area that's the black hood of Gaza? It's called Abid. And what does Abid mean? It means slave. The black Palestinians in Gaza literally live in an area called the slave. And they get called slave to their face. The Arabs got a candy called the head of a slave, like some chocolate-coated coconut candy or something like that. You get what I'm saying? So Craig Mack says, do you know South Africa is still exporting coal to Israel? Al Abid, that's crazy. Al Abid, man. Yeah, Al Abid, man. They call us slaves. And man, even though South Africa took Israel to court, they're still doing business with them, right? This is the thing, man. This is the thing. The Palestinians got to hold their own nuts. The Arabs got to hold their own nuts, and anybody who is non-black, really caring about this issue, y'all hold your own nuts on this. You get what I'm saying? Sam Seals, he said, I'm going to keep a lookout for your lives. I just come in here and chop it up at least once a day. But, yeah. Black people are the foundation to a lot of countries, says Vince Fan. Ain't that the truth? The indigenous people of the Philippines looked like me. And that's not to hate on the current Filipino people, right? Or the current people of Australasia, right? But if you go to any of those Asian countries, the indigenous people look black, got big noses, got afros, melanated skin, all of that beautiful stuff. You get what I'm saying? But what's happening in Israel is a genocide. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about that. But the NAACP getting involved, I don't know. I don't know exactly how to feel about this. But honestly, I'm tired, so I'm going to wrap up this live stream. I've been going hard in the yard for about an hour and a half, so I'll let you guys have it. Y'all chop it up about these stories. I'll come back on live probably tomorrow and give my 2 cents on stuff that's happening out in the world. Shout out to Sam Seals. Shout out to Vince Fan. Shout out to Craig Mack. Shout out to Oracle 8. Shout out to, everybody who came in here and chopped it up and didn't get your ass blocked. My name is Simon Hill. Y'all be easy and peace.